and you found ways to monetize that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, how do you know what to share online and what not to share? Because just now you talked about beauty, lifestyle, and skincare. No, and vlogs and
Yeah.
vlogs. So how do you know what to put out there and what you're like, oh, this one? Because I saw you also put your dad on one of your videos recently.
Yeah.
So how do you know what to put and what not to put?
It's been difficult for me to know, because you know, on one hand you have to share a part of yourself for people to be able to relate and connect with you.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you don't want to put out too much.
And
it's
everything.
I've learned.
Yeah.
I can't say that even at this point I really know where to draw the line.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely learning. I don't share much of my family on my YouTube channel. In fact, the video I did with my dad, he was just talking about nutrition. So they don't know anything else about it. But he was just talking about nutrition. So I don't share my family much.
Yeah.
And the parts of myself that I share are just parts that I feel could, I don't know, help someone.
Right.
I guess.
I hear you. I hear you 100%. Do you feel the pressure to share more? Because it feels like to me that we're in this age of sharing everything.
Yes.
Every last thing. I mean, you're giving birth and there's like a camera there.
Right
you're,
there.
you know, painting your house, there's a camera there.
Yeah.
You are picking schools for children, there's a camera there. Which is great because, again, it allows people to connect and to see themselves in others.
Yes.
And that kind of connection is important. But it could, you know, it does have its downfalls and stuff. So do you ever feel the pressure to share more than you want?
No.
No.
I don't.
You're just like, you're gonna take what I give you.
Yes.
I love that. Were you nervous the first time you put up a video on YouTube?
Yes, I was quite nervous. I was really nervous. It got, I kept checking, and I think I got maybe like 36 views in 1 week after I put it, and I think they were all mine because I kept going to check and just watch and see if
what's
people
the
have
situation.
Watched. Yeah, so I think they were mine.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, now you have a lot more than that. You usually have like easily 10 to 20,000 views on a video. Sometimes even 50, 70,000 views, which is crazy.
It's still crazy to me.
So how were the first few months for you? If the first week was 36 views, how were the first few months of sharing? What was the response like?
It was slow. It was quite slow. I think I hit 500 subscribers probably 4 or 5 months into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months, and yet about a year later, you've got 30,000.
Yeah.
How did you build that audience?
I think it's just by being consistent. When I began, I would do 1 video every week. And then when I decided to jump into it and do it full time, I started doing 2 videos every week. So consistency as well as giving value. You know, I want someone to come to my video and when they leave, they've gained something, you know, some knowledge or I don't know, just
they know how to feel good by doing their makeup, or they feel connected to you.
Exactly.
I think for a lot of people also, it's maybe if they don't have, you know, this great network of friends, just that creates a community.
Yes.
For them to feel like they are a part of something bigger. So how do you know what videos to post? Like what's going to be a hit video? Like you're like, this one, wait till they see it.
Sometimes it's a gamble, honestly. Let me tell you something. There are some videos that I put no effort into. I look horrible. And those are the videos that do so well. And I'm just like, no, this is not me.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think those are the ones?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Are they usually makeup related?
Sometimes they're makeup related, and sometimes they're not. But then when I see that kind of a video doing well, then I'm able to create content along those lines. So with time, I guess I've been able to know my audience and know what kind of videos they enjoy.
So what kind of videos do they enjoy?
Well, they like fashion hauls as of late.
Okay. I can understand why, because you look so cute. I mean, I feel like I'm just obsessed with Joanna. The whole shop, like, you're just so amazing.
Gosh.
I understand why fashion hauls are.
Yes, they're quite popular.
Yeah, popular.
They're quite popular. Some vlogs are also popular. You know, also how I title the video is quite important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, what's the key to that? Because again, the whole business model surrounds your being able to grow your audience, to grow the number of subscribers, right? So if where you were at 500 subscribers isn't the kind of power you hold when you walk into a boardroom at 30,000, and it's not the kind that you'd have at 1 million. So you've got to be very very aware of everything that you do and how you put it out, how you title. So what are some of those things, if you don't mind sharing? Because I know that there's a bunch of people who are going to watch this who want to jump into YouTube.
Yeah.
So what are those specific things that you believe has helped expand your brand in as short a time as it's done?
Yeah. I think the first one is just being myself. It's just being myself. I went onto YouTube and I didn't try to be anyone else.
From the get-go, you were very comfortable?
From the get-go,
wow,
I didn't try to be anyone else.
Yeah.
If I use a matatu, I use
Yeah.
a matatu. That's it,
Yeah.
you know? So I think people are able to relate with that more. Also, the consistency helped a lot.
Right now, you post 2 videos.
Yeah, 2, sometimes 3
Yeah,
videos
a
every
week.
week. So
Yeah.
that consistency helps when people know on this day, at this time, there's going to be something from
Yeah.
Joanna. That really helped a lot.
Yeah.
And then also just continuously trying to get to know what my audience wants to see, which is something that I've been able to learn through the past videos I've done. You know, if I look back at the videos I've done, I'm able to see, okay, this one got, in fact, sometimes it's not so much about the views, but the likes, because you could get a ton of views, but not so many likes, but the likes can tell you, you know, what kind of content people want to see, and then I create more of that content.
You were talking about titling the videos.
Yes.
What are some tips around that?
I think you have to make the title catchy, not clickbait. Not clickbait. Don't say I'm getting married and yet you're not.
If you don't know, if you're not really familiar with YouTube, there's a whole bunch of videos that go up that are just crazy. Like I jumped off this skyscraper and fell into a shark's mouth, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
And then what you see is like a towel that like that has a shark's towel, and you're like, that's not a building, that is just a shot. What are you talking about? So a lot of people have been like baited into clicking on videos with these grand titles that don't really live up to the titles.
Exactly.
So
you have to make it catchy, but it has to definitely be related to the video. Don't put something that's not actually in the video, you know? And then just try and get your viewers' attention. You know what your audience likes. You know, people tend to be curious about your personal life.
Oh, yeah.
So if you could make your title around that, you know, like, am I in a relationship? Then everyone is just
like,
there like, yes,
it's so funny. I wonder why people are so curious about anything that's incredibly personal.
Yes,
I wonder if that's if it goes back to really just people wanting to connect. Like if you say you're struggling or it's difficult or you share something that's so beautiful and intimate, then it allows people to really see you and to see themselves in you. I think it goes back to that.
Yeah, I completely understand it, because even me, when some of my favorite YouTubers post something like that, I am just there.
Click, what are they saying?
Exactly.
So what equipment did you start out with?
I started off filming in my bedroom, first of all.
Okay.
But I was lucky enough that my dad had a camera. So it's just like I was meant to do it, you know?
And at this point, where were you at this point in life? Were you in uni?
I was in uni.
You were in uni
I was in my final semester.
Okay. And did you study anything to do with YouTube or media?
Well, I did marketing.
Okay.
So it's
ties in.
Yeah,
ties in quite strongly, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in your last year of uni, you're in your bedroom, and you had your dad's camera.
Yeah.
How did you know how to edit? Because that's a big part of this too.
Yeah, YouTube. YouTube. So I actually didn't have a laptop at the time. So and I didn't have lights. I didn't have any studio lights. I had to film with natural light. So I could only film during the day.
Yeah, so right in front of a window.
Yes, and if it was raining then that was it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And so I would film in my bedroom and then during the day, and then when my mom came home from work, I would edit at night using her laptop.
Ah,
Yeah.
so you really made the most of the instruments and the tools that you had around you
Yes.
from the people around you.
Yeah.
You make do. Again, you know, a lot of times people chase perfection. Instead of going for what you love and just starting now, you wait till
Yes.
everything is perfect. But
Yes.
that's not how it works.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then if you wait till that moment, it would be like
The
5 years.
moment may never come.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it may never come.
We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get into the business and the brand that is Joanna Kinuthia. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. We've been talking to Joanna Kinuthia, who is one of Kenya's top YouTube rising stars. She's got about 30,000 subscribers, has 2.5 million views in total, and yet she only started last year. And what we're getting into for this segment is to understand the business and the brand that you've created. So earlier you were saying how you were in uni when you started, in your last year of uni. At which point did you decide to pursue this full time?
I finished school in March of last year.
Okay.
And then I just decided to go look for a job. I think I just felt the pressure.
Yeah.
You know, everyone we left school with was looking for a job, was in a job. So I was like, even me.
Okay.
I better also look for a job. So I looked for a job and I got a job. But when I was in that job, it just confirmed to me that that was not, it was not for me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I didn't feel like I was having a direct impact on people's lives in that job.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like I would ever be able to make that direct impact, you know, just in a corporate job. I was just like a drop in the ocean, you know. If you take the drop out of the ocean is fine.
Still,
it's fine.
Yeah.
So I left the job. And
how long after?
How long after I started the job?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks.
Okay.
A couple of weeks. Like when I know something, I know, and I don't even waste time.
That's so funny. I was waiting for 4 months, 5 months. A lot of people wait. You know, I think it's even a security that a job gives them.
Yes.
So were you nervous about that?
Of course, I was quite nervous because
yeah.
I wasn't even making any money from my channel at the time. And not just that, I didn't even know how to make money from my channel.
So how did you then make that such a bold decision?
I just decided that, you know what, YouTube will work itself out. I'll figure things out. I'll learn how to make money and I'll start making money. But I just can't stay
in that job.
I just can't.
And at this time, you were still living at your parents' house?
Yes.
Okay.
Which made it much easier for me.
Yeah.
In fact, my dad, he didn't really support the decision at first, but he was always one to say, you know, this is a good time for you to make such bold moves. You know, you don't have responsibilities, you don't have kids who you need to take care of. Like, this is the time.
You don't have rent. If you had all these other costs, you don't.
Then I might have stayed.
Yeah, but I love that you still took the leap, because even though you still had that safety net, a lot of times people are like, oh, that it's too new and too daunting. For them to really take the leap, but you were like, no, this is what I want. Did you give yourself a timeline whereby you said, I'm going to try this for this long. I'm going to try see if I can make it work. If it doesn't, then I'll do something different.
No, not really. I just burned all my bridges.
Yeah,
and
you were like, this has to work.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, then that's it.
Yeah, it's so funny. When I decided to do full-time blogging, I mean, I thought I knew what I was doing, but at some point my parents were like, honey, we love you, okay? We see your zeal and we appreciate it, but if you don't start making money soon, you're gonna have to change. So and they're the ones who really helped push me into that, and they were like, you've got 3 months to make this work, because soon you're gonna need to start paying bills around here. So that really pushed me to figure it out. But I guess in your case it helped that you knew that this was a working business model, that you'd seen other people
Yes, I had seen other people succeed on it. I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
But I said I would just figure it out.
Yeah. So what does you doing YouTube full-time look like, and especially at that point? So what would your typical day look like?
My day starts at 6. People usually get shocked about that because again, people think YouTubers just lounge all day and then wake up and film one video,
put some lipstick, and they're like,
hi guys, and done.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot that goes into it. So I wake up at 6, and then I usually like listening to something motivational in the morning, just something to get my day started, you know, or I'll read a book, a personal development book, and then I start working at around 8:30. So in the morning, I like to do more admin work. So I respond to emails, I communicate with the brands that I'm working with at the moment, and then I do a lot of planning. So I plan out my content for the day, for the week, just all the videos, all the video ideas I'm going to do, what I need to do them, when I'm going to do them, and all that. So that's usually in the morning. And I'll also research for videos that I'm doing. So I don't, again, people think that we just click and start, but you actually have to do a bit of research into what it is that you're putting out there. So then in the afternoon, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I film the actual content, and then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are my editing and uploading days.
I think what people don't understand is just how long this process takes. Again, it's just assumed that it's just a click of a button. How hard could it be? You just talk about this stuff and you just put it online. But there's so much that goes into it. And as I was even looking through your history on YouTube, and your first videos and last week's video, oh, was it last week, the one about glasses was the most recent one. They're completely different. So it's quite clear to me that you've been heavily investing in your craft, whether it's the equipment that you're using, your editing skills, or even how you present yourself. Where did you get that capital to invest back into creating this really great set?
When I started making money from YouTube, in fact, when I collaborated with the first brand I ever collaborated with, it was Junction, the Junction Mall. I bought a laptop immediately. My mom was quite happy, obviously.
Finally.
Yes. So with time, as I made some money from what I was doing, I decided to invest back, by just improving how I was doing things.
And also makeup is very expensive.
That
too. And you're constantly talking about makeup, new products, there's this and there's that. So was that also part of your strategy to put back?
Yes. Even now, I still have a budget for YouTube videos. So anything I need, if it's makeup, if it's the clothes for the fashion hauls, I still have a small budget to invest into, allocate into the videos.
Okay. You just mentioned how you, at some point, then got your first client. Can you take us through what that was like? Creating the pitch and presenting it. What was in that pitch? Were you just like, I'm Joanna, I make videos, you want to work with me? How did you do it?
It was actually something like Yes, it was. The proposals I used to write back then. I made it so much about me. Work with me, do this for me. Me. But of course, now with time, I've come to learn that you should not even mention you. It should just be about the brand. What value are you giving to the brand? How can you justify them spending money, for you to work with you? So the first proposals I wrote were not the best. But I've definitely learned a lot from where I started. So now when I send a proposal, it has very little about myself, just who I am, my numbers, other brands I've worked with, and then I mostly focus on the value that I'm giving this brand. What will the sales improve? Will the brand awareness increase? Yes.
So, and how did you learn that part? Did you ask someone? What was your reference point for what that? All the questions.
I figured that someone else would, I don't know, use it to first manage the expectations, and also to see that that it's possible. It's possible.
But I'm sure that's changed quite a bit over time. Because back then you were like, it's not that much. I'm sure now you're like, oh, we're good, honey. We are good. Now, how do you know what brands to work with and which ones? Do you ever reject some brands?
Definitely.
So what's that decision-making process like?
First, I only work with brands whose products are actually good. And brands that I believe in. I can't recommend a product to someone who's watching and then they go spend their hard-earned money and then come back and tell me, Joanna, other brands are getting onto this bandwagon and, collaborating with YouTubers and influencers. But they're not really, I don't know, they're not sold on it. And it shows in how they communicate with you. So I prefer to work with brands who actually believe in what I do.
I love that. That you've also defined your worth. And it's not just like, please work with me, but also in the same way that you've carefully crafted this rate card or, proposal and shared it with them as this is what and that's your realness that is online.
At first it was quite difficult. I would get one negative comment and I would really focus on it, and sometimes people think that I don't know, it's like they see like we're not real people, like we're not seeing these comments, you know. So at first it was quite hard, but now I just focus on the positive rather than the negative, because I could get 50 comments, 2 of them are negative, but 48 of them are positive. You know, so there's no point dwelling on
the 2. And
no, actually just delete them.
Delete. Delete and block?
Yes, delete and block.
And block. I like that. That's a good motto.
And
delete
also,
and block.
There's something I had someone say once, which is that people who comment negatively or give you negative feedback, it's not actually about you. It has nothing to do with you. It's their own insecurities and their own issues that they're just trying to project on you. So
just be like, not here.
Exactly.
Not in my space. Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay, we have to take another quick break, but we'll be right back with more from Joanna. Welcome back. We're talking to Joanna, and I'm just so thrilled because I get to understand her world in a deeper level. And if you are interested in YouTube and content sharing, whether that's on YouTube or other social media platforms, then you want to listen up, because she's dropping some gems on how you can create a brand and earn a good living from this. Now, we've talked a lot about YouTube, but I also know that you've got a really strong presence on Instagram too, and that you do share content on there. How do you know or balance between what goes up on YouTube and what goes up on Instagram? What paid posts are on YouTube and what paid are on on Instagram. Do you view them
As separate?
Yeah.
But for me, YouTube has always been my main platform.
Okay.
So I put out different content on both platforms.
Yeah.
But I use Instagram more as a way to drive traffic to my YouTube channel.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess I was asking this because there's been so many shifts in the past, say, 10 years, where to start with, it was heavily focused on blogging, and that was a thing. And then at some point, more towards Instagram, and so that's where more of the content and sharing was going big, and so now it's going on to YouTube.
Yeah.
And now there's just like having to balance between all these platforms. Do you ever feel like there are moments where you're just depleted? Like,
of course.
So how do you replenish?
How do I replenish? Because for me, not putting out content is not an option. It's what I do full time. And there are sometimes people who are in an 8 to 5, they don't feel like going to work, but they have to go to work. So I have to treat what I do like that as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll just take a day off and not film, not do anything to do with work, and not go on social media at all, and just take a step back.
Because that's also very important, because there's in as much as social media is great, it's what has helped you earn a living, it's what you're obviously very passionate about. There's also so much that's taking place on there that every time you go, you're opening up your soul to all these comments and energies. And to create distance, I think, is very important every once in a while.
Yes. But I also make sure to pre-film some content for those times when I just feel, low. Because there's sometimes I'll be like, whoa, yes, 2 videos today, 2 videos tomorrow. So that's when, like, I'll create that content, edit it, and just keep it for the times where I don't really feel
smart.
Like filming.
Smart.
Yeah.
Now, how do you make sure that you're always ahead of the game? Because one of the things about what you do, YouTube, or social media, is that the ease of entry, it's literally anyone with a smartphone can be on YouTube, they can be on social media, and they can grow their brand. So there's an influx of young people who've seen what this is about, and it's almost like there's this new level of fame around it too, and so a lot of people are coming in.
Yeah.
So how do you ever even feel the pressure of being ahead of the game, or how do you handle that? How do you make sure you are always on top of things?
I wouldn't say that I've really felt the pressure to stay ahead of the game. Like, for me, it's just always been about creating content that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
But of course, I also have to listen to what my audience wants to see from me, because if I just created content I was passionate about and no one was watching, then
it would be a hobby, not a career.
Exactly. So sometimes my audience will tell me, there's this new trend, can you check it out? Or when it comes to beauty, there's so many makeup products coming out every single day.
Yeah.
So I also have to stay on top of that by being on YouTube quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it stops being recreation.
Currently online.
Currently.
Yeah.
Internationally or?
International. Oh, it could be both, yeah. It could be both.
Well, you, for starters. Yes. Yeah. I also love Jackie Aina, because she's always so on point, with the reviews.
Exactly. We're singing Jackie's theme song.
Yes.
But she's incredible. And just to put this into perspective, there's been individuals who are millionaires who've bought from a space of passion.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're also going out there and like doing it too, it's amazing. But anyway,
you.
Jackie Aina is a great example of someone who's really just created such a strong business model.
Yeah.
She's a black woman too. Very proud of that. So what have been some of the biggest milestones in your career?
Probably the biggest one would be I had a meet and greet earlier this year.
Yeah.
And when you're doing this, you see the numbers grow, but they're mostly just numbers.
Yeah.
So to see people actually put faces to these numbers, that was amazing. That people would actually take time out of their busy lives to just come and say hi to me and just support me and cheer me on. That was just that was just amazing for me.
And that's a big part of what you do. Well, partly because there's a business aspect to it, like we were saying earlier, but also it shows, it sort of validates that you're on the right track because there's this community that's growing and they like what you're saying.
Yes.
But how do you make sure that it doesn't get to your head, that you're just like, hi, I am Joanna, who are you? Sorry, I'm not interested. So how do you, and again, I haven't even felt a morsel of your spirit is like that. Like you're so gentle and humble and such a lovely young lady. So I haven't sensed anything like that. So how have you made sure that it doesn't get to your head?
I think for me it's just about my whole attitude that I have, which is that first and foremost my followers are the ones who have enabled me to be where I am today. So I'm just someone like them. I'm exactly just like them. It's just that they decided to support me. So I have that attitude of gratitude towards them because they are the reason why I'm where I am. Yeah. And then also, I stay at home a lot. I work from home. So for me,
you're locked up.
I'm locked up.
I'm sure you see them. And at this point, when you say home, you've moved out of your...
No, I still stay with my parents.
So how do you then how was the first time you met? How was it the first time you met someone, right? Yeah. Because I know you're talking about like, I just stay in the house. And really it's the truth. You just press a button, it's you on the camera. You sort of lose touch with the reality that it's actual people.
Yes, you do.
But I'm sure there are moments you leave the house. So do you remember the first time that you ran into a subscriber?
Yes, and I looked so bad. I looked
That's
so
how it is. Why does it have to be like that?
And I just kept thinking she's just gonna go and be like, that Joanna. She doesn't look the way she looks online, let me tell you.
Filters on YouTube. But
but other than that, it was so amazing to me that this person actually sits down and watches my videos, enough to come up to me.
Yeah. Have you gotten used to it?
No, I don't know. I haven't gotten used to it. Have you gotten used to it?
Also, I think to some extent, but in the sense that I'm aware that there's people who could be in the room and know who I am. So I don't know if that's getting used to it. But before I'd just be like, what? What? Me? You know me? Really? So I'd be like proper panic mode, like, oh my gosh. But now I'm aware that you walk into a room and there's some people who may know, and most people will just be like, sorry, we don't care, who are you? But there's some, so in that sense.
Yes.
Now, how do you deal with the interest in your life? Because like we were saying earlier, there's a shift in the way people are sharing content and it's becoming really personal. And you were saying you've got an idea, a sense of what those boundaries are.
Yeah.
But how do you still deal with the interest of, and especially very personal aspects too? If someone's asking what lipstick, you'll be like, I'm wearing Fandango Purple by Sleek. It's fine to just say it. But if someone's asking like, who's that guy I saw you with? How come you don't talk about this person anymore?
Yeah.
Where are your friends? Where's your best friend? How do you deal with that interest in your personal life?
I've honestly always just approached it with humor.
Okay.
I'm just like, haha. Like, I'm always like, haha, just, I'll share one of these days, wink emoji. Always, that's always been my approach.
Does it work? Do people stop?
Okay. But I don't think they'll ever stop. They'll never stop.
No, it's never going to. In fact, the more you grow, the more interest there will be. And then it'll be on little things. It'll be like, your boobs are like a little bigger. Are you pregnant? And it's like, what? Like, maybe I added weight. Maybe I am pregnant. Yeah. Like, with my pregnancy, other people noticed before I did. Yeah, I remember someone leaving a comment like, you look pregnant. And I was like, geez, first of all, that's rude. okay? And then like a month or a few weeks later, I'm like, ooh, I am pregnant. I am pregnant. So there's just like that real keen interest that I don't think will go away, but I think it's good that you've created healthy boundaries for yourself so you don't get lost within the noise and everything else that's going online. What do your parents have to say about what you do?
Oh, my parents are so proud of me. In fact, they're going to watch this. We're all going to watch this. Oh, they're really proud. My parents are very open-minded people.
Yeah.
So when I told them what I wanted to do, they tried to understand it, of course.
Yeah.
And they were definitely on board with it. I don't know what else I can even say. Like, they're just so supportive.
They must be so proud, too. Especially seeing just how much you've grown and that it's no longer just something that you're passionate about, but you're earning a living from it. They must be like, that is a daughter.
Yeah, and they do that. They go to, you know, telling other people like, yeah, my daughter is on YouTube.
That's so cute and so important that you do have that support system. What is your vision for your brand and how do you plan on scaling and growing?
Well, one of my goals is to eventually start my own brand. Working with brands has also shown me that, honestly, it's also convinced me of the power of the influencer.
Yeah.
So I also want to use that power for my own brand. I want to create something for my community, something good, something amazing.
Oh, I can't wait to buy, whether it's a lip kit or eyeshadow palette.
Yeah.
I would 100% be one of the first to purchase.
Oh, really?
I love what you do. And
I'll hold you to that.
No, I will. I 100%. I love what you do and I believe in what you do as well. And you seem like such a grounded woman and yet you're still so young. You've achieved great success in such a short amount of time.
Thanks.
So disciplined and so focused. I wish we had more time so that I can unpack where that comes from. But for now, what I'd love to hear from you is any advice that you would have for someone who's starting out and wants to jump into YouTube. And it doesn't even have to be makeup. You could be watching this right now and you're like, meh, not into it. But you could be into cars and car restorations or tech or gaming. Oh, YouTube. There's a world and a wealth of YouTubers and content that goes up on anything. So what advice would you have for someone looking to start out?
The first thing is just start. Just go into it. Whatever you have, if you have a smartphone, if you have a camera, whatever it is, just go ahead and start. The second thing I would say is to be yourself. Just be who you are, you know, talk about things that you're passionate about, whatever it may be, the cars, the gaming, whatever it may be. Just talk about something you're passionate about. Be consistent. So if you can do one video every 2 weeks, then hold yourself to that.
Yeah.
And then the last one, maybe the most important one, is strive to add value to the people who are watching your content. They should not live the same way they came to your video. Either they're smiling or either they've learned something.
A new trick. I hear that. I hear you.
Or something.
I love that. And it gives you a sense of purpose in even what you do.
Yes.
Joanna, thank you. I will catch you on YouTube. Why don't you say your channel? How can people find you? On YouTube, you are
it's just my name. By
Joanna
Joanna Kinuthia on all my social media.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to check her out. She does the best makeup videos and tips on like products that are inexpensive, you know, makeup for people who wear glasses. She's incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you for watching. We will be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp. Adios.